Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you Friday, April the 26th. The year is 2024. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap-up with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and different from Walmal's. And just a reminder, as we're heading into the end of the month, risk management. Never lose more than you are willing to lose on any one single trade. So let's take a quick look here at the weekly chart. We are 133 pips above the weekly open, 38 off the high, 203 off the low. And notice we have only one pair that has not filled the gap, and that is the Euro New Zealand dollar. If we zoom out to the monthly, we're 120 pips below the monthly open, 205 off the high, and 205 off the low. So we're basically right in the middle of that range. And if we take a look at the daily opening ranges, you can see on Tuesday we broke out of Monday's opening range, and today we touched the opening range low for the year at 25.39. In fact, we had a high of 25.40, and so it looks like it just barely got into that launch pad and then came back the other way. For the year, we are 215 pips below the yearly open, 387 off the high, and 207 off the low. So notice that the weekly, monthly, and yearly low are all the same. So we put in a new yearly low this month. For the inside bar traders, we had an inside bar 9 days ago. And this week we opened outside that range to the bottom, but we actually got back in the range. And on Wednesday we broke through to the downside by just a couple of pips. But yesterday we broke through to the upside, and today we touched that high, inside bar high of 24.98, let's call it, and then bounced right back up. So for the range, we had red news today, but we only have 47 pips of range. Isn't that interesting? I hear Walmal laughing. And it looks like...
laughing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm laughing only because we have 47 pip range for the day, and that news caused a range of 44 pips up to 47. So it's basically that news went and caused everything.
Yeah. Well, actually, I looked at my half-hour chart, and I'll bring it up on the next chart, and it looked like it basically just swept. It did a coast to coast to coast. But we have,
Exactly.
let's see, 3, 6, we have 8 pairs over 100 pips, with the pound yen, also known as the beast, leading the way at 265 pips. Notice dollar yen is at 156.80. That thing's really getting overheated in my estimates. So I think there should be
Some type of correction
there should be some type of selling opportunity coming up soon. So let's see. Yeah, so 2 bars ago on the 30-minute chart, you can see it looks like we almost touched the daily high and got pretty close to the daily low, all on that one bar. So what were you gonna say, Walmal?
On the dollar yen, where is it at now?
We're at 156.82.
Okay. Now, the interesting thing about it is not too long ago we were saying that 137, 140, 137, 140, that was overheated. Now he was sitting here at 157. That's telling me that's really overheated.
Yeah.
And so there needs to be some type of correction there.
Yep, sooner or later that's probably going to happen.
It's just interesting how markets do that, and what happens is, it may continue, and this may be the new norm, but the thing is, it's got to go back and test and put in some type of strength underneath it for it to continue to go up. The question is, when does it do it? And if you're able to go and pick that up, that's when you can make some nice money.
Right.
because you can make the money on the way down, and then you can make the money back on the way up. One other thing too is that that again I'm going to go and harp on that Fibonacci that we had drawn out. At the beginning, or actually I think last week and then the beginning of this week, it bounced off that 23.68 level, and so now from that area, it is now gone up 225 pips from that area. And yesterday, it's kind of interesting. It finally broke through it, but it had a big struggle at the 38.2 level. And also, if you go back, not last week, but the week prior to that, it kept on bouncing off that level before it did its plunge down to the 23.6 level. And it's kind of interesting how, I don't understand why it works, but it certainly does. It just charts, they don't lie to you. You just have to be smart enough to go and take advantage of the charts.
Definitely. So we're playing with the 125.00 psychological area right here.
Yep.
At the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it wants to go and get to the other side. Yet at the same time, it wants to go and test it. So who knows what's going to happen? We have news coming up in about 18 minutes or so. So we'll see what it does when that news drops. It's consumer sentiment, but it's the revised one. And normally it doesn't move the market because the second revisement may move it. This is the third revisement, which means that it's pretty much the numbers never ever miss. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah. And I pulled up the rat zone. Notice the indicator says the range is really too low to play the rat zone. Once again, we've only got 46, 47 pips of range, so it's just not much happening. Now, looking at the pivot trading plan, Bambino Flex indicator indicated a long near the pivot. Pivot trading plan said long near the pivot. We hit the pivot. Let's see, back in, looks like the Asian session, maybe towards the beginning of the London session, and it definitely moved up. So it's nice when a plan comes together. And looking at the pivots, let's see, we've taken out our weekly pivot, we have taken out the daily, and we have taken out the monthly. So looks like the work is done. We have a couple of open pivots though here in April. We have one from the 11th and one from the 24th. So it looks like we might end the month with one or two open pivots. And looking at the wick zone, we were in and out of the upper wick zone, so anybody playing those breakouts were rewarded once again. Simple horizontal line trades. Nothing. It's funny, it's just so simple. People love to ask or seem to, so what should I do? What should I do? And I just say, well, the wick zone's pretty easy because it's one of those, you can set it. You don't have to be sitting in front of the screen, and then as long as you're not too greedy, you can put your 5 pip or 3 pip or whatever, 7 pip profit target and almost be rewarded. In fact, Walmal used to do those, the previous day high-low breakout. You still doing that?
I haven't done that in a while. It's just, to be honest with you, I know it doesn't take much time, but my evenings are so filled up with grandkids and such, I just don't have the time to sit down and even have the 15 minutes to do it. Because that's really all it takes. Once you get into a pack, it only takes about 15 minutes to do it. In the beginning, it takes you a couple hours, a day to do it because you got to sit there and figure it all out and stuff. But once you get into a routine, it actually only takes about 15 minutes to set everything up.
Mm-hmm.
But I just unfortunately haven't had the time. So sometimes spending time with your grandkids is more important than making money.
Yeah.
I can always make money. I can't go and make new time to be with them.
Right. Okay, moving on to the smart range chart, we have 241 pips in the range this week, 75 percentile. So the previous week we broke out of the high and the low, so we definitely have an outside bar this week. So 42 pips above previous week's high, and then 67 pips below previous week's low. And so for you weekly rat traders, we're 38 off the high, 39 now, and 203 off the low. And for you weekly open crossover traders or buy zone traders, high minus open 171 and open minus low 70. And looking at our some of our trading charts here, once again we keep crisscrossing below this 2500, and on the M30, let's see, we had looks like we only had one open below. We had two closes below. So it seems like they want to keep that price above the 125 mark. They being the big money traders. And looking here at the 3-level ZZ, using the 3 balls as resistance and support lines, along with the lowest high, highest low. You can see we're going to have a trigger here, lowest high at 125.02. Now we've already went through that one once, twice, 3 times. Each would have been good for about 3 pips or more, depending on how long you wait. And let's see here, looking at a simple chart here with the 5 previous days, high, low, close, and midpoints. You can see we're definitely breaking out of that upper wick zone from yesterday, V1 from 1 day ago. And now we can look at some of the stats here. Year-to-date accumulated range, 594 at the moment. And so let's see, if we take a quick look here, let's take a look at the ATR, average true range first. For April's 400. And so now if we look at the ATR percent, you can see 103. So we've definitely been moving in the upward direction. January 43, February 60, March 79, now April 103. So the question is, are we going to hit the summer doldrums or not? So we're definitely above last year, 2023. April had 47 at the end of the month, but 2022 had 173. So obviously 2022 was a pretty big April. And let's just see, what percent return have we made here? Close minus year-to-date open percent. We're minus 1.69 for the year. So we've got some ground to make up, traders, if you're looking to go long the pound. And let's see, looking at the trade reminder for the month, let's see, previous range exceeded by 91.5 pips, seller's strong control, which seems to be changing here depending on which way it ticks. Price is still below last month's lower wick zone, which means it's below last month's low. And looking at the week, though, buyers are strong control. We're above last week's high upper wick zone. We exceeded the previous range by 109 pips, and we are just about out of time. So, fellow traders, I hope you had a profitable week and month and year so far. I'm going to wish you a fun and safe weekend. So, thanks again for watching, and when you come back, to your trading platform. Always remember, never forget. It's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.